this edition of News Leader on 6. Today is Tuesday, October the 9th, 2018. I'm Jim Fuller.
And I'm Andrew Todd. In tonight's news, the Tullahoma Wildcats secured a home field playoff game with a win over Lawrence County last Friday night. And Tullahoma School Director Dr. Dan Lawson is retiring soon after 22 years at the helm of the system. We'll have all these stories and more on tonight's News Leader on 6.
It's football time in Tennessee, and nobody tackles the competition like the Russell Barnett Automotive family. With 6 locations to serve you, certified collision center, over 1,000 new and pre-owned vehicles to choose from at russellbarnett.com, hometown auto rental, limited lifetime powertrain warranty on certain units, certified pre-owned units. Too many reasons to mention why. Keep asking the question, why buy anywhere else?
You made the time and the sacrifice to broaden their horizons, to see their smiles, but mostly to make lifelong memories. We think it's time to do it again, just the two of you. Don't let illness or injury slow you down. The rehab team at Life Care Center of Tullahoma is ready to help you live well.
Who will be Mr. and Ms. Tullahoma Canine this year? Which dog will win the Best Trick Award? Find out at the Animal Shelter's Bark in the Park, Saturday, October 13th from 10 until 2 at Wagner Park. Help support the Animal Medical Care Fund during a day of barking family fun that includes dog contest, pup paw art, grooming, ninja slide, and more. Sponsorships, silent auction items, and volunteers are needed. To learn more, contact Teresa Holt at 454-9580 or visit our website.
Welcome back. After our demand hit an unseasonal low of 8.9 million barrels per day for the week, the latest Energy Information Administration report estimates demand for gasoline grew slightly to 9.1 million barrels per day last week. This uptick in demand occurred alongside a small drop in gasoline stocks, which dipped slightly to 235.2 million barrels from the previous week's 235.7 million barrels. Despite this lower demand and somewhat steady stock levels, gas prices across the country have climbed this week, with today's national average for unleaded regular gasoline sitting at $2.91 per gallon.
This month's Lunch and Learn program, which takes place tomorrow, presented by the Tullahoma Parks and Recreation Department, will feature area forester Tyler Wakefield, who will present a program about tree identification and forestry practices that help you conserve one of Tennessee's most precious resources. Lunch will be served at 11:45 with the presentation to follow. Cost of the lunch is $8.75 and RSVPs are requested.
The Tullahoma Wildcats captured their 7th consecutive win of the season last Friday night in Lawrenceburg as they defeated a winless Lawrence County team by a score of 28-6. That win guarantees the Cats at least one home game in the playoffs. John Gray spoke with head coach John Olive.
Long trip and
came back with a win, though.
Came back with a win. That was the most important thing, and you know, not very happy with how we played. None of us are, and we just didn't handle playing against a team that had not won a game this year. We didn't handle being out of school. We just didn't handle a lot of things. And very fortunate that we're able to get a win.
Special teams played well.
For the most part.
Yeah.
You know,
some of it was.
Obviously, we had 3 big returns for touchdowns. Kickoff team-wise, we did well. Race Mayer, and I don't know what he finished up with his average, but his first 3 punts were 43, 48, and 53.
Yeah, he punted the ball well.
And, formula that we've talked about all year long. Got to play good defense and got to play special teams well, and then offensively, we're hoping to improve as we go through the season and get more and more better and solid. And we had our worst performance of the year last night offensively, and
pretty ugly.
So, you know, it's a little frustrating and so forth for all of us. We'll take a few days off though, and then we'll go back to work.
So we're off this week. We have an open game this next Friday. Oh, well, an open game. No game.
Open date.
Open date this next Friday night. So maybe we can work and get some stuff put back together.
You know, we just gotta. It's just frustrating right now. That's all I'm gonna say.
Okay,
Frustrating.
but what are we, 7-1?
We are.
And it's been a while since we've been there.
And I'm proud that our defense is playing well, and I'm proud of our special teams. That's a great winning formula. Play field position and play defense. But in order for us to get to where we want to go to, and we're going to play Giles County at home for senior night, which will be a big ball game, and then week 10, or week 11, I guess, but our 10th ball game. We go to Maplewood to play for the region championship, which is what we wanted to be able to do all along. But we don't have a chance if we don't get better over the next 3 weeks.
Next 3 weeks, yeah.
Right now, we're going to relax, take a few days off, and then we're going to try to get ready for Giles County and take, as I told somebody last night, they were talking about Maplewood, and I said the players need to just concentrate on Giles
That's
County.
right.
We
That's
as
right.
coaches, we always are a couple of weeks out, or even sometimes a little further. When we were getting ready to play Marshall County back in week 3, we were prepping for Marshall County back in late July.
Yeah.
There's things that we've been doing in practice that, I'm sure the kids say, well, why do we practice this and never use it in a game? Well, it's coming.
It's coming.
It's coming. It'll be time.
Coming.
But it's just nice to be knowing that we're going to be in a second season, and
Yeah, that's great.
That's what we're prepping for.
All right, Coach, thanks a whole lot. Congratulations.
We'll be right back after these messages.
Have you heard the news? Russell Barnett Automotive Family has launched its new website, russellbarnett.com. Very user-friendly. Over 1,000 new and pre-owned vehicles to choose from, online credit applications, hometown auto rental, customer testimonials, trade appraisals, certified collision center, service department scheduling. Too many reasons to mention why I keep asking the question, why buy anywhere else?
When your family suffers the loss of a loved one, the caring and compassionate staff at Tullahoma Funeral Home and Coffee County Funeral Chapel are standing by to assist you in every way possible. We are proud to support local industry and offer only Batesville caskets. Many funeral homes don't own or operate a crematory. We utilize the only crematory in Coffee County. Your loved one never leaves Coffee County. We can accommodate any need and any budget. Consider our complete pre-need service to remove this burden from your family during their time of grief. Lock in today's low costs and protect from inflation. Tullahoma Funeral Home and Coffee County Funeral Chapel. Our family caring for your family.
Welcome back. After 22 years on the job, Dr. Dan Lawson, Director of Tullahoma City Schools, is retiring at the end of the month. Tom Corrington spoke with Dr. Lawson last week, and tonight we bring you part 1 of that interview.
We're talking today, folks, with Dr. Dan Lawson, who as of the 1st of November will no longer be the Director of Schools for Tullahoma. And so we, as I mentioned before the break, he and I have fought a lot of battles over the years, and we thought we might take a look at a couple of those. What comes to your mind, Daniel, some of our best controversies? Most fun.
Most fun? Certainly, a person in my position annually will talk about prefacing a budget with, this is going to be a tough budget year. I really don't recall in my 22 years here ever saying, we're really looking at a flush budget and it's going to be exciting and a fun time. So I think that's kind of a standard of operation.
That's an annual.
Yeah, it's just an annual battle, so I really don't think a lot about budgets. What does come to mind is we've seen an ever-growing trend to believe that everything that has value has to have to it appended some number. And especially as we think about assessments and as we think about tying those assessments numbers to a teacher's performance based on
assessment of the students
of students to a teacher number based on how a kid did one day in May. I think that student assessments are important to show progress, but I certainly don't think they are the end-all to show the value of what we as educators provide, what a student brings to the table, and how a parent or family member invests in that student. We have some remarkably gifted students who do some great things, and if we assume that the only way we can measure their progress is on some standardized test on one day in May, we've missed the boat.
Yeah.
We were talking this morning before we went on air about fine arts programming. And when I think about our kids who have performed and those who come in who have performed, there's no way to provide an objective measure, but we know that those folks make us feel. They make us emote. They make us relate to what's going on, and that adds value. Likewise, when I've got a day like we have today, where it's approaching 85, 90 degrees, the concern about proficiency versus meeting proficiency is not nearly so great on that standardized test as it is on whether or not they can get my HVAC going very quickly. So I think that we've got to understand that not everything that has value can be scored, and not everything that can be scored necessarily has value.
Well, and as you've, I think we're emphasizing, you can't put all the eggs in one basket. Use that assessment of a test at the end of the year as a way of assessing not only the students but the teachers' performance, and that's a very limited arrangement. So, well, that's interesting, and also tangled up in there, excuse me, is the type of testing we're doing, where the testing come from, and we've had an ongoing controversy of that for all these years, and it isn't settled, is it?
It isn't. We in fact have now seen the governor on a listening tour, hoping to provide for our next governor a basis of understanding as to what's going on, and I could help them a bit. I could help them a bit in the fact that there's a naive belief that every standard must be assessed by a standardized test. I don't think that's an accurate statement. I think there are some power standards. There are some essential elements that the state ought to look at assessing, but there are an awful lot of elements that ought to be assessed by a classroom teacher during the course of that year and during the course of the instruction. Now, when you have a belief that you're going to measure every standard, you then start developing tests that last entirely too long. So as I think about what we've done as a state, I remember when we started the discussion about assessments and started the discussion about spending too much time was about the same time that my daughter sat for her bar exam. And when I compared the time that a third grade student spent versus the time that my daughter spent sitting for that bar exam, we spent more time with an 8-year-old trying to determine their proficiency as an 8-year-old than we did with a young law school graduate who's trying to determine whether he or she may defend me in a capital trial somewhere. That's nuts. That's something that we could and should do better.
We'll be right back with more News Leader on 6.
It's not invoice. It's not MSRP. It's not Christmas Day, although it may feel like it. It's the lowest prices in Middle Tennessee, period. Get to Stan McNabb Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram or Stan McNabb Chevrolet Buick GMC Cadillac before these prices are gone forever.
All right, the cat's out of the bag at Carroll Street Liquor in Tullahoma. Now you know where to go if you're planning a get-together and want the ideal wine or spirit. Party planning can be stressful, but at Carroll Street Liquor you'll find everything you need. Mixers, gift sets, and all of your favorite spirit brands. So if you're feeling the pressure to pull off the ideal party, come to Carroll Street Liquor and select among the seemingly endless supply of wines, spirits, gift sets, and more. Your perfect party, it's in the bag. with Carroll Street Liquors.
Rush Bricken knows agriculture and farming is vital to Tennessee.
Rush Bricken supports our community and our faith-based charities.
On November 6th, you have a choice for your Tennessee State Representative.
I have the experience and background to be an effective Tennessee representative for you.
20 years on the county commission.
I'm picking Bricken.
40 years in business.
We're picking Bricken.
Vote Rush Bricken November 6th to the Tennessee State House of Representatives.
Welcome back. Chris Auditor from Chris Auditor Photography has an exhibit of his work currently on display at the Tullahoma Arts Center. John Gray spoke with Chris and Tina Shang, Executive Director of the center.
This is something I love to do, and that is be involved with the creative people in our community. And recently, we had Tina Shang on, and she's the director of the Tullahoma Fine Arts Center. And for Michael Bush is having a show down there right now, and a great friend and a fantastic creative individual. And the following up Michael Bush's show is another great friend and fantastic creative individual, Chris Auditor.
Thank you.
Welcome to both of you.
Thank you.
Give us a little input on what's getting ready to happen.
And Tina graciously asked me to do a set of my work, all of it, the horror and the regular. So we're putting all the pieces together and going to have a special thing going on.
Well, let's look at this right here. Yeah, that's fine. Just look right back here. I mean, that's downtown Nashville, and that's an incredible shot. What you do with your lighting and your framing of things and your use of black, and no image. When there's a perfect image in front of no image, it makes it that much better, sort of. You can't call it white space because it's black space.
I mean, I guess the one thing that I figure I do a lot with my work is shaping the light, To me, that's more fun than I'm never going to master this, but
I don't think anybody is.
No, it's a lifelong
You're certainly
sport.
Getting close.
It's as bad as golf. You're never going to quite get there, but you just keep trying.
Well, Chris, you still have a residence in Tullahoma, but you also have a residence in Nashville.
I have a residence in Nashville, a residence here. We go back and forth. And I'm working with a guy named Glenn Weiss in Nashville at 1087 Studios, which is up north of Nashville just a little bit, but he's graciously given me all the space I need to do anything I need to do in Nashville. And of course, my playground is outside. I would rather play outside than play in the studio. Of course, I can do any or both.
Right. And a lot of people, Chris has been around here for quite some time, worked at Traders Bank for quite some time, but a lot of people don't realize, you're a Nashville boy.
Oh, yeah. I'm Hillwood High School graduate.
So it's like going home to you.
It is going home. Actually, the condo that we bought is within a quarter of a mile from the house that I grew up in. So
that's outstanding.
Yes.
Outstanding. How did you two get together?
Oh my gosh, I don't know when we first met. Probably through our kids.
Mm-hmm.
We had our children did high school theater together, and so probably there, or maybe Facebook even before that. I'm not sure, because I admire his work and have been following him before I ever met him. So. And
you, as like me, are probably very, very happy that she's taken the position she's taken.
Oh, I'm
at the
blown
Arts Center.
away. This is so cool to get to work with her.
And, well, she's a ball of fire.
Yeah, I know, and
we love that about her.
We're going to probably have the most fun show that the Arts Center has ever had. We've got some great sponsors.
Yes.
I've gotten behind a lot of these companies that I'm with, and Laying Low Custom Motorcycles out of Deckard is a sponsor. Street Rods by Michael in Shelbyville is a sponsor. Spectrum Medical is a sponsor, Dr. Cole.
KK.
And KK's, can't forget Ken.
Yeah.
Ken Huddleston, he's behind me. I can't imagine life without Ken Huddleston, but it's pretty awesome. and it's going to be the most fun party. I just realized we can have wine. We can't have beer, but we can have wine and hors d'oeuvres, and we're going to have it all. And please come. I want you to see you there.
Oh, I'll be. Well, I'll be, you know, I'll be there.
I'm bringing close to 45, maybe 50 pieces, and multimedia with video.
Oh.
Yes.
That is cool.
I do some creepy video too, and I'm going to have.
Well, folks, come see this guy. I'll be there. We're gonna party down.
Absolutely.
Because it's monster time in Tullahoma. It's Halloween. You know, get your skull.
The whole thing will be there.
Get your skull out. We'll put your pumpkin head on, and let's party.
Let's go.
More news leader on 60 is coming up in a moment.
Have you ever been involved in one of these? And you need one of these? Then look no further than the Russell Barnett Certified Collision Center. With a state-of-the-art facility, aluminum capabilities, lifetime paint guarantee, Russell Barnett auto rental, claims assistance from start to finish. We're here to serve you. So stop by and let us show you why we are #1, the Russell Barnett Certified Collision Center.
We're losing it, Doctor.
Not on my shift. Quickly, brush. Roller.
What a transformation. It's gonna be okay.
Okay, nothing.
At Paintworks of Tullahoma, we specialize in domestic emergencies with Martin Senior Paints. You can be the paint doctor too when you treat your home with Martin Senior interior and exterior finishes.
Doctor, we've got another one.
Got you covered.
Paintworks of Tullahoma. Come see the paint doctor, Stat.
Here at Manchester Funeral Home, we know the importance of living and working in our local community because it's those families who we serve during their time of need honorably. We believe in supporting local business and offer only 100% Batesville caskets, the best in the industry and a driver of our local economy. If you want straightforward and fair pricing while working with the people you know, choose Manchester Funeral Home, serving your community since 1932. And pre-planning and pre-funding can be the best gift you ever leave your loved ones. Call us to pre-arrange. Manchester Funeral Home. Our family, caring for your family since 1932.
Welcome back. And now let's watch this performance by the band Bad Monkey from last weekend's 41A Music Festival.
Don't forget to tune into this week's Living Show tonight at 6:30 p.m., Thursday morning at 9 a.m., and Thursday, Friday, and Saturday evening at 6:30 p.m. This week's guests include Judy Jenkins, who will speak to us about this weekend's One Day of Hope in Manchester, and also how you can help people by donating blood. Carla and Carter will drop by to remind us about the Sportsmen and Businessmen's Organization's annual fundraiser, and Tullahoma's Winston Brooks will stop by to talk about this weekend's Bark in the Park. All that and more on this week's Living.
And stay with us. We'll have your weather forecast right after these messages.
The Russell Barnett Automotive family has launched its new Owner Advantage program. It starts as simple as your first year's maintenance is included with the purchase. We have 1 year, 3 year, 5 year plans available. Car detailing, car rental, collision repair. Stop by one of our 5 locations and let one of our certified sales staff tell you all about it. The Russell Barnett Automotive Family Advantage Program. And remember, my question is, why buy anywhere else?
My wife Jackie has always been the life of the party, but things changed when she couldn't be as active anymore.
They told me I needed a double knee replacement.
It's not as big a deal as it used to be, but she still needed to go to rehab.
I was amazed at how good the therapists were at Life Care. They took really good care of me.
They took excellent care of her, and now she's back doing the things she loves, and that makes everyone happy.
Life Care Center of Tullahoma wants you to get active and live well.
Welcome back. We'll take a look at your weather forecast at this time, starting with your weather history on this day. Our record high on this day was in 1941 at 93 degrees, and the record low was in 2000 at 30 degrees. The average high on this day is 73, and the average low is 49. Chance of rain in the forecast for tonight with a low of 73. Mostly cloudy weather expected on Wednesday with a high of 80 and a low of 61. Mostly cloudy weather in the forecast again for Thursday with a high of 69 and a low of 50. And that's our News Leader report for this evening. We invite you to join us each Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday at 6, 8, and 10 for News Leader on 6. You have a good evening.
Have a great evening.